Hello again, this is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and this is my cartoon review extravaganza. I'm going to review the latest episode of Young Justice, the latest episode of Green Lantern, the animated series, which came back this weekend, and the season finale of Clone Wars, which had Darth Maul in them. The only reason I watched a couple of Clone Wars episodes. But let's get started with the latest Young Justice episode, which was a Miss Martian centric episode. But before we get into that, it's really fascinating how this episode started with Batman showing Black Canary and Green Arrow some video footage of Superboy and Miss Martian making out. At which point I'm going, pervy Batman! What is he doing spying on these kids? I mean, really, Batman, you need to get some better porn. But really, it did feel kind of like an invasion of privacy that Batman was spying on the Young Justice members. I mean, that's totally what Batman would do. But to actually show other people, the kids making out, that's so pedo bear. That's pedo Batman right there. But outside of that, it's at the same time, it's kind of the stuff that I think happens in a teenage superhero team. But something about the beginning of this episode was very, very awkward. So like I said, this was a Miss Martian episode, Miss Martian centric episode, and we got to learn more about her history and her personality quirks and where she got them. Also, her character is tied into the origin of another character from the DC from the DC universe, actually, because no, he has been in the DC animated universe, sort of. But what I found interesting about this episode is, first of all, Miss Martian has some really big issues. We've already seen some hints about her past and about her harboring some deep dark secret. And for the interaction with Simon, we look at her greatest fears. And up until that point, when we kind of went inside her head, I was pretty on board with the episode. I liked it. But then, Simon revealed her greatest fears, and her biggest fear ever is not that she would turn against her teammates. It's not that whatever secrets she has would lead to her team, to the other members of Young Justice getting hurt or anything like that. That would have been, a heroic quality in her. Her biggest fear is that Superboy would stop loving her and turn away from her. That's the only point in the episode where I went, So here is another female character, which is pretty much defined by her relationship with a male character. It was a little bit disappointing. That's all I'm saying. Like, the greatest thing in the world for Miss Martian is the fact that Superboy likes her. Yeah, that was slightly disappointing, but maybe I'm being too overly critical. This is a kids show. But this is how it starts. Other than that, the episode had a pretty childish there was a political problem that the Young Justice got involved with, a foreign affairs type of issue. It was pretty childish. Not really. It's not. I can't even say that it's not realistic. This is a superhero cartoon show for kids. But it was kind of a very immature way to approach foreign affairs, I guess. And I did like the fact that Robin stepped up as the leader of the team and assumed responsibilities for their failures. I found it interesting that the team didn't have Artemis or Aqualad at all. They weren't in this episode, but it still pretty much felt like Young Justice. It felt like a real team. Also, like Superboy throughout this, he had some good character moments, and he didn't do much. This is the thing about Superboy in Young Justice, the anime series. He really doesn't need to do much. He's more of the sarcastic, dry kind of character. He gets by with a look or something like that, and still speaks volume about the character. Kid Flash, as always, was the comic relief. Overall, I think my pretty much the entire episode revolved around Simon's and Miss Martian's conflict. There's a scene in this where the rest of the team has to fight somebody, and they just it happens off screen, and it's a little off-putting. It represents a break in the action. There was again a little awkward. But all in all, I think this episode did wonders for Miss Martian. Even though I personally have some problems with her characterization, it was a nice way to kind of let us into her head, and really her natural form is pretty weird. But at the same time, she's a shapeshifter, and with shapeshifters, I think there is no natural form for them. So overall, could have been better, but pretty nice episode of Young Justice.